Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports. This video is all about how to uninvert your lines or do bar juggling. We've had a previous video that we've already released about a year ago, and we weren't doing it in high winds. Today, we got a lot more. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging and a little bit more real world. Let's get into it. I'm going to show you how I do things, and hopefully it makes you a better rider. Today's video is all about bar juggling, and things happen out on the water, and maybe your kite crashes, and maybe your kite inverts its lines. And man, I gotta tell you, after all the years of kiteboarding, most of the time when I see somebody invert their lines, they go ahead and do a self-rescue. They eject, wrap up their bars, grab their kites, and they walk on in, and they're like a half a mile out. It's okay to have inverted lines and have your lines just a little bit tangled up. Get back to the beach if you're not comfortable with bar juggling. So just to prove that the kite flies all the same with the lines tangled, I'm gonna do that right now. All right, here I am with my bar and lines pretty much tangled up. I've crashed the kite. The lines have gone inside and out of each other. And well, the kite still flies the same. Yes, you're gonna have more friction on it, and it's not good for the lines long term. So yes, you do wanna get back to the beach unless you can bar juggle. But you can see the kite flies just fine. I can get back to the beach. So if you get your lines tangled up, just get back to the beach and untangle them there. But if you're confident in bar juggling and the wind and the atmosphere and the conditions are good, maybe get a little closer to the beach if something were to happen, or select a rider, a friend of yours, or somebody random out on the water. Say, hey, my lines are inverted. Can you just make sure if I let go and lose my kite that you're available? We actually have a new video coming out about how to retrieve your buddy's kite if it does become detached from you. So first thing, let's bring it down to the water. Nice and gentle. Not every kite is made the same. And this XR being a little bit on the higher aspect and a very delta rounded leading edge, sometimes that kite may not sit on the edge of the window. And for this kind of bar juggling and these kind of conditions, I want to make sure that kite is going to stay there pretty well and not out of control. First things first, you do have to remove your leash. If you're uncomfortable with that, go on the beach and do this. Next thing, make sure that leash is available, so I clip it into my spreader bar. I go ahead and get rid of my chicken stick. I'm gonna have to hold on to the chicken loop. If I grab that bar, I'm gonna lose control. If I lose control of the kite, I have two options. Either let go or try to rescue it. That's the importance of having somebody available to grab it if need be. You could actually have that other rider hold the leading edge, so that's one step that you could do just to better your success. But in this situation, I'm pretty confident. After I've disconnected that chicken loop, I'm gonna reach up to my deep power lines. That makes it a really nice handle. And I get comfortable with that kite just sitting there. That may be a step that you wanna practice before you get yourself into an entanglement where you have to bar juggle. I'm gonna look at the lines and see which way they are and which way they're kind of going through, and try to figure it out by putting all that pressure on this really nice handle where the deep power strap is. I'm gonna look at them. That releases the tension from my steering lines. So now all the tension is on my front lines. And yes, the kite's gonna bounce around a bit. I'm gonna look at those front lines. I see that the bar goes through them. And this is where it becomes kind of a finger pinching moment when I have it kind of looped around like this. That's not cool. I don't wanna sit here for very long on that. Now what I wanna do is grab that chicken loop. After I pass those bar around, grab that chicken loop, boom. Now it is uninverted and my bar has just been juggled to perfection. This is a practice that you gain confidence over time. Best thing to do it is in lighter breezes, maybe bigger kites, real light breezes like 12 knots or so, and then build yourself up to where we're at, 25 knots. After you get it control, grabbing that chicken loop, hook it back in, your 1, 2, 3 step, chicken loop, chicken stick, and leash. and I'm ready to ride. Of course, there's some techniques that are not covered in this video that you acquire over time that may work better for you. But by practicing this over and over again and getting confident with just holding those front lines like this, where your steering lines are nice and slack, you'll be able to do just about anything with those lines. This time around, I'm gonna pass that bar back through and go back to having inverted lines. Boom. Hook it back up. I see that they're inverted. Reach up again, grab those main lines, release the tension on my steering lines, figure out which way they go. Uh-oh. Perfect scenario that the kite just fell over. Bad news bears. I know that the kite's gonna fly just fine. Whether or not they're tangled up, as long as one line isn't shorter than the other by a knot or something like that, I'm gonna go back to hooking it into my spreader bar. Hook my leash on there just in case I have to flag out. And then I'm gonna look at the kite and just go into a relaunch. I love how in this video, this is real world. That leading edge just collapsed. I got the lines all tangled up. And of course, one of the steering lines is caught on the leading edge. Boom, lines are still inverted. I just wait for that kite to get to the edge of the window again. Maybe back away from the beach a little bit. Undo my leash. Undo my chicken stick. Again, grabbing that main line, seeing which way those steering lines go. Pass that bar through. I want to be fast with this. Grab that chicken loop, the main line or the chicken loop. Still maintaining tension on my front lines only. And then I can let go, hold that chicken loop, hook it back in. Here we are, uninverted. 1, 2, 3, chicken loop, chicken stick, and leash. Give it overall check again, make sure no lines are tangled. And now I'm back to flying in perfect condition. If you notice, this is a sensor 4 bar by Core. Most of the time, 4 bars are going to be high V. A high V is a whole different beast to master. Most of the time, you just want to go back to the beach to uninvert your lines. But remember that first tidbit I gave you is like, just because it's inverted doesn't mean that your ride is over. Ride back to the beach and fix it up there. Pretty cool pro tip. And you saw it earlier in the video where the leading edge fell down and the kite could possibly fly away. Well, that's only going to happen if I put some tension on the back lines. If I maintain tension on just my front lines and that leading edge comes down, well, for many years, that's just how kites were actually flagged out. They didn't have a one-line safety system. If I maintain control of just the front lines and don't allow my steering lines to power up, this kite will maintain full flag out and we won't have any issues. So just to build confidence in that, and of course every scenario is a little bit different. Now the kite is just fully flagged out, just hanging out in the water. If I feel like I can bar juggle and untangle my lines in this situation, be confident with it, sure, I could do that. But I'd much rather have that kite on the edge of the window so I could see the lines top to bottom from me all the way to the kite and make sure that they're untangled. So worst case scenario, I'm just gonna walk my hands up to the kite like this, or start wrapping it around the bar, making sure that my steering lines don't add tension. This is Aaron with Elite Water Sports. I'm just trying to build some confidence in your skills. Everybody should be practicing this. If you're a good kiter, or if you kited for a couple years, or just a year into it, these are practices that you need to acquire, skills that you need to acquire in the long term. This is Aaron with Elite Water Sports, and I'll see you on the water. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and, well, we're always here for you. See ya.